You found us. I'm glad you did, but I'm sorry you had to. Who are we? Our husbands died, unexpectedly and in the prime of their lives. So come sit in on our Widow Circle where trauma meets humor, and we remind you you can not only survive, but thrive. This is Every Widow Thing. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Every Widow Thing. It's Kira.
And Whitney.
And Holly.
And we want to first wish you a belated Happy Mother's Day. We were actually supposed to get together yesterday evening, and it was my fault because I ended up canceling.
You had a good reason.
I mean, I just want to say, are you even a parent if you're not scrounging around on a Sunday afternoon looking for poster board? I mean, my kid had a project.
On Mother's Day.
And I mean, this is how many years later? This is my 16-year-old. I have 21 and 23, and I'm running around looking for poster board for this project.
That's very stressful.
The one time I actually tried to get ahead of this situation, and I bought a bunch on Amazon. I stored it in the garage. And so then when my child was like, I need poster board, I was like, I've got that. And
it was dirty.
It was just sort of like, it had gotten moist, okay? And it was deemed unusable.
Well, that's funny that your Mother's Day got derailed because we were going to go to Hunter's family to celebrate with my mom and his mom and me and the kids, and it was awesome.
Nice.
But as we're walking out the door, one kid shoves some flowers in my face. Like, it's not even a presentation or anything. It's just like, here. And I go, thanks. And then he goes, by the way, I missed a final. And I was like,
you're like,
what? So my kid had a final due on Friday by midnight, but he didn't know, he didn't know he had a final. Literally, as we're walking out the door to go have a great Mother's Day, he tells me, oh, by the way, I missed a final, but I'm sure it's going to be fine. And so the whole day, I'm like spiraling on he's going to fail his class. I'm going to have to bring him home because I told him if he fails another class, he can't go to college anymore.
It's over, folks.
It's over for you.
Pulling the plug.
Well, after a whole 24 hours of stressing about it, I got a text from him this morning, and he goes, I heard from my professor, and the final was optional.
Oh my God.
So,
who even takes an optional final?
All that stressing for nothing,
like,
LOL. And I was
Mother's
like,
Day to me.
Is that just to bring up your grade? Like, who takes an optional final?
Yeah, it's just
like
to bring up your
credit?
grade. Yeah, I mean, it like he had a 92 in the class, so he wouldn't have taken the final if he knew it had been optional. Yeah. Which I'm guessing at some point in his mind he thought it was optional. He knew it was optional, but then he forgot and panicked. Anyway, and he couldn't check Canvas because there was harm. I was up spinning all night talking with ChatGPT. I mean, I went way.
The point is, the mothering never ends. It doesn't matter if your kids are grown. True. It doesn't matter if they're out of the house.
True. And,
it's just ongoing.
I also believe that because Hunter wasn't here to go, you are acting like a crazy person, shut your brain down, I was just free to spiral. All that I wanted.
Well, you can always call me, and I can try and shut it down for
you. You were spiraling.
I was spiraling with the poster board, to be fair. To be fair, I was spiraling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The spiraling doesn't stop. I don't know. Well, I think all of us would say dead husband creates more spiraling than if...
Well, then it adds, like, I guilt myself and think I'm a terrible mother because I'm not doing
on top of things
the right way, or, you criticize yourself. I do.
I've been seeing a lot of stuff on Instagram about women carrying most of the mental load anyway, even if with a living partner or spouse.
That's true.
Because the men don't seem to worry about the poster board.
They're not up in the middle of the night worried if they
did y'all see
child's mental health.
Yes. Did you see that meme where it's
unfair.
like you're never? I don't know if it's a meme or a reel or whatever. I don't know what they all are, but I think you're talking about something that I saw where it was these slides and it was talking about like, let me explain it to you, Dad. Like, this is the mother. The mother, you you check in, the mother never checks out.
Right.
And like the mental like exhaustion that we have, we're constantly wondering, are they okay? How can I help? Where are they? What are they doing? You know, and
I think as a widow, like maybe if you're not a widow, I feel like I could with Frank, I could check in and say, I'm feeling overloaded in this instance with this child. Like, you need to take some of this off of my plate. Like, you need to step in here and do this. But again, with the widow, I mean, there's just never really another person to hand anything off to.
And even if you have a person now, it's not the father of your children. And by the way, my kids don't want my partner to step in and try to be a parent. So that's also a weird thing that you got to navigate.
Yeah, I think with Brendan, I can certainly ask for a lot of stuff, like rides and, showing up at school events with me and maybe taking Karis to play golf. But
a friend.
I would never look at him on a Sunday and be like, can you go do this geometry project with her and get that poster board going on?
Yeah.
I don't think I would even ask. But yeah, I think it's probably, relationship to relationship. And I don't want to say that he doesn't do anything.
No, I think they would step up if we asked them to, but
there's also, it's nice for y'all to have someone that you can vent to about it, like if you...
That's true.
When I vent to my guy, and I know he listens, love you, but when I vent to my guy, he's like, he can't, and I think this would be the same with if I was venting to Hunter. It's just different. Men don't think like I think. They think I'm overreacting.
I don't think anyone thinks like you think, Whitney.
I think a lot of men are like, let him fail the course.
Yeah, exactly.
But then they don't realize, I mean, and this is just talking to my friends who seem to be shepherding their children more through high school, college, post-college. Then it falls on the mom when he fails a class, and then it's a scramble, and does he have enough credits to graduate? And so I think sometimes men, they can just be like, well, he should just
fail. Yeah.
It's a life lesson. And you're like, yeah, but now we're paying for another semester of college because he didn't get over the finish line? I mean, there's just a kaleidoscope of consequences for some of these things. And I'm all for kids like making mistakes and learning from them. But again, back to sort of single parenting, you're the only one making those calls in real time. Mm-hmm. What is going to be more beneficial here? The life lesson where he, misses the plane or sleeps through the exam or fails the class, or me kind of supporting him a little bit more and getting him over and then kind of sitting down and saying, hey, that was a close call.
Yeah. That's what I said this morning.
You almost ended up in summer school. And
sometimes it's hard. I feel like I don't have the capacity.
Yeah, you're already tired, so you're just like, I don't want to deal with.
And sometimes you don't make the right call. I mean, I'm making mistakes all the time. Sometimes I'm
perfect.
Yell at the kids and then regret it, Yeah. Sometimes I just get overly frustrated, and sometimes I overreact about stupid stuff. I was telling you all last night, we were trying to move my daughter's car because they were calling for hail, and I just started overthinking, like, we have only a 2-car garage, and Brendan and my car, they're in the garage, and Aislin's car is outside, and we were like, where can we put your car? So they were just advertising this massive storm last night, which ended up being not much. And totally overthinking it. And she was getting annoyed because she was tired. She had worked. And she was like, I just want to go to bed. I don't want to be moving my car around. And I was like, well, that's fine. It's your car that she bought with her money. But if you wake up tomorrow and it's like hail damage, you're going to be upset about that. And guess what? I'm probably going to be paying to fix it.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, how much are you willing to commit to letting them learn the lesson? And I actually went on a walk with my daughter this morning. She's 23, and she had a really rocky start when she started college. And I I let her learn a little of the lesson, but it's almost like when you are taking antibiotics, right? If you don't finish the bottle of antibiotics, then you just create antibiotic resistant bacteria.
Yeah.
Can you tell I just had a bladder infection? Anyway, it's kind of like that. If I never finished the lesson with her, so she would come back the next semester and kind of do the same thing. It wasn't until I finally finished the bottle of like, you're on your own, get a job, pay your bills, and figure it out. And for a year she did that, and now she is making straight A's and, you know, has a great mental health view of school. And I was asking her, like, what do you think it is? And she goes, I just think I was immature and I had low self-esteem and I was scared. But once I kind of saw that I could handle what was actually happening, I could handle school too.
And that's good she recognizes it now.
Yeah, I know.
And Holly, you're kind of in a period with your older son with kind of trying to get him transitioned, right, into kind of more permanent work and
yes,
maybe
please
some
find
health,
a job with benefits.
some health care. Yeah, I mean, it's almost a harder time than the high school. I mean, I'm complaining about the poster board.
It's going to work out perfectly.
But
They graduate high school, go to college, graduate college, get a job, and everything's fine. But sometimes there's a few kinks in there.
And it's not like he doesn't know that he needs to get a job.
He has jobs, but I'm like, you need benefits.
Yeah.
Just hard to come by in that kind of industry, I think, until you get something more permanent.
Benefits are hard for me now. I don't have any
know.
benefits. And
That's true.
don't even get me started talking about health
that's
insurance.
Oh no, let's not go down the health insurance
Still
path.
have crappy health insurance.
Yeah, we all have crappy health insurance
Yeah, it's
because
not-
our husbands
All
die.
right. Well, we could go. I'm gonna try.
Let's change the
I'm
subject.
settling.
Point is, that's our Mother's Day, bitch. You're always mothering, even on Mother's Day.
Sometimes more on Mother's Day.
You're mothering, sometimes more on Mother's Day. So is Mother's Day about like being a mother and celebrating that, or is it about getting a break? Because I know some people are like, well, bye, I'm just going to the spa.
Yes.
That's what I think I'm going to do next year.
That's what I used to do when the kids were little. A group of my girlfriends and I would leave for the weekend, and the husbands would take care of the kids. And Hunter was really good about it because I would come home and like the house would be picked up and there would be food and everyone was clean.
There was food?
There was even food, you guys.
Even food.
Whereas some of my friends would go home and it was just a shit show. So it was more work. But I like the idea of you get a break on Mother's Day by getting away from the people who made you a mother.
My kids always get me a massage every year. So that's kind of their way of saying, not today. You don't have the massage right now.
Right. You're not, we didn't make the appointment.
But you can have this for yourself.
Yeah. That's
Later.
good. That's nice. I got some flowers that were just shoved in my face and a warm bottle of Prosecco and a card, which
Wow.
was nice. Yeah. And then Sydney planned this whole like Mother's Day brunch with Hunter's parents, my mom, and she brought the dessert, and it was really sweet. And I
think that's great.
Yeah, I'm grateful that they thought of it because when they were little, you've heard this story before. I was crying in the pool on Mother's Day because I'm just floating around on a floaty and everybody's doing their own thing. Nobody's
Why are you
even
crying in the pool.
because it was Mother's Day and nobody did anything for me, and Hunter was dead.
Yeah.
So it
well,
was
those
just like
first
a
years
poor pitiful pearl.
think
were like a
in the
black
pool.
hole in
the
terms
beginning,
of anything for me.
I remember my friends and my sister called the boys and offered to help them out. But I think they got the message pretty early on, like, oh, I should make mom a card or go buy her some flowers.
No, I told y'all, I specifically, that actual Mother's Day, I specifically said, all I want is for you guys to each write me a card telling me what I mean to you.
How amazing I am.
And I got nothing. And so I floated in the pool and I cried. And my mom made me some nachos.
Oh,
That was the Mother's
sounds pretty
Day.
good to me, honestly.
The nachos were good.
That's nice of you.
My parents aren't in town, so, and neither are my late husband's parents, so I don't have any family here. So we didn't really do. I mean, we did brunch. I did
But were
brunch
your
with the
kids
girls.
good about
and we
remembering?
FaceTimed with Thomas from Denmark.
Yeah.
Who's coming home Thursday? So I'm pretty excited about that. And he did send me a nice text at like some odd hour because he's 7 hours ahead.
Yeah. Thomas is.
Does he not know how
He's good.
you can like write a text and send it later?
He does. He does know about that. But he was actually traveling back from Italy back to Copenhagen, so it was a little bit.
He has a terrible life.
He was having
right
his
now.
last like fun hurrah.
We should say Thomas is a great example of what you want your kids to do, because Kira went over to visit him, and he surprised her at the airport.
Did.
My kid left town.
Just like it's far-ish out of town. I mean, it's an airport, so
no
I
one
was
wants
shocked.
to pick anyone up from the airport.
I thought maybe
How did
he
he
would
get
meet us
there?
at the train. He took the train out to the airport.
That's
I mean, we
so
got
sweet.
off the flight, and I mean, it was an international flight, so, you're dazed and confused. And there he was. I couldn't believe it, with flowers.
That's so sweet.
I mean, he gives you Mother's Day every day.
I think he was excited to see us.
Yeah,
It
that's
had been a
awesome.
long time.
I
Most of
got
his
flowers for Mother's Day.
study abroad.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet. Is Zach's home or no?
No, he'll be home later this week.
Yeah. Well, we wanted to do an episode where we're all together, because sometimes it's hard for everybody to find the time to get together. And we wanted to kind of just reflect on the end of the season. And we did a lot of interviews this season with widows and widowers that we felt like were really thriving in their grief, which sounds weird, but I just wanted to at least have us kind of comment on that for people, because especially online, I think we get so many messages where we're like, survive and thrive, and I'm grateful for this, and then you'll have those people that are like, I don't see how you are smiling at all. I am still in such deep grief, and it's 3 years. When does it end? So giving a little
Hope.
yeah, about that, or speaking to that, or, like Kira, you brought in your friend Shelly.
There's a lot to admire about Shelley. She lost her husband suddenly, like us, which we all know is horrible. And she had 3 seniors in high school.
Yeah.
So she has triplets. So like her whole family just disappeared, basically, at once. Her husband passed away, and then all 3 of her kids left for college. And the great thing about her is she was a principal in an elementary school. She's actually transitioning, I'm super proud of her, into something else now that she's excited about. But I think her school kind of became her interim family. I mean, I think
Well,
they
and she
were
had
A really good community.
I think her students were anyway, the families at her school, so she kind of had that community.
She's
I think
just got such good energy.
She does.
I think that's
She's
due to
positive.
her faith a
Yeah,
lot
she's
too.
so positive.
She
She
leans
is.
into her faith,
she is very Christian, yeah,
which
and
I
that's
think
helpful too.
Yeah, I think that brings in, that whole idea that there's something bigger than yourself going on here. This life isn't, it's like that meme that I talk about where you see the world from space, and then there's this tiny little arrow pointing to this teeny tiny dot, and that's me crying in the shower. It's like, there you are in this tiny little space that you think that's all there is, and then you just back up and you can see that there's a bigger picture. It helps people cope with the problems that they're going through if they know that, I don't know. Am I making sense?
Yeah. So I want to tell a story.
It's called perspective.
Yes. You're going to tell a story. Holly's going to tell a story.
Well, it's kind of related.
Yeah.
In some way. Let me talk with my hands.
Okay.
I was at a party the other night for work. We were in Scout Guide And so they had a party at Flo's.
I don't know what Scout Guide is.
You don't know what Scout Guide is?
Do you?
Absolutely not.
It's like
Is it a Southern thing?
kind of a prestigious magazine that is curated. Not just anybody can be in it.
Oh.
And there's Dallas Scout Guide, Knoxville Scout Guide.
Is it sort of like Tribeca? Because I know what that is.
Sort of. It's really pretty. I'll bring y'all one.
Okay.
Okay.
But it's an honor to be in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I
And this is the jewelry store, isn't it?
yes,
Wendy
Wendy
Wells.
Wells is
Okay.
in it. And so we were there, and my coworker Kimberly introduced me to this woman, and I don't even know how. I was thinking back, how did the conversation get started? But somewhere along the way, I pulled a Whitney, and I'm like, yeah, my husband died. And
Good job, Holly.
I don't think it came up like that, but
Dropping the D word.
That's right.
so she was like a lot of people don't do. She asked me, "What happened to your husband?" And I was happy she asked me. Well, she knew the whole story. She was just like, "Oh my gosh, I remember when that happened." And then after that, she became my best friend and
For the night.
told me she loved me.
Are we jealous? Should we be jealous?
I'm wondering.
Do we need to take
No,
this woman out?
but the point of my story is she's like, how have you, she's like, you just look so
Put together
happy
and
put
happy.
together.
Yeah.
And she's like, how have you done that? And I said, I surround myself by happy, positive, yes people.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good thing to kind of talk about. Okay, so Holly, you feel like it's because you make a very conscious effort to surround yourself with the people that you want to be like or have the same energy as. Because it is true, whoever you hang out with, you're going to become in some way. I think it's like, if you look at the 5 people you spend the most time with. You're so funny.
Hilarious.
Yeah, it's something like look at the 5 people you spend the most time with, and you'll see your characteristics or something like that. What about you, Kira? How do you think you survived?
I think positive energy is a huge force in anything, any kind of adversity. Obviously, that doesn't mean you can't cry in the pool, cry in the shower, cry in the closet, whatever you want to do, if you need to. I remember my doctors telling me, because I had so many injuries and I had so many complications, and not to harp on that because I don't want to talk about it too much, but 2 of my big surgeons who did a lot of my surgeries were like, we don't usually see people from these kinds of injuries come out of this, where I was running, skiing, yoga, spin class, weight training. I mean, they were like,
Pilates.
Most people are not. They were like, your attitude, one of my surgeons in particular, who became my friend, he was just like, it's all about your positivity. And I think my fight to get back to being a mom, I wanted to be independent. I wanted to be able to do things for my kids. My parents lived with me for a year because I couldn't get out of bed or walk down the hall or drive a car or feed myself gosh, there's just nothing more humbling than not being able to walk yourself to the toilet or take a shower by yourself. And so that always stuck with me even after I had sort of recovered physically. In the emotional journey, it was like, okay, Kira, go have your cry and then get on with it. Go call a girlfriend and go out for a glass of wine. Go for a walk. Go see an uplifting movie. Take a trip. I mean, it just is just a constant drive to stay alive, just to live,
not just stay alive, but to live, fully live. And that's why you do try to live life to the fullest. If you have an opportunity to go somewhere, you try to make it happen. You say yes, and not just you, but your kids. You really are a great example of showing them, go say yes to things, go experience that. Why not have an adventure and go see what life is all about. That's a real gift. And yeah, you unfortunately had to go through a horrible accident where your husband died in order to kind of get that perspective.
Well, and when you're grieving, I mean, whether it's your husband or you've some other kind of loss, the sadness is always there. So you have to fight like doubly hard to find happiness.
Yeah.
And be aware of what is happiness. Like I've been, I just got this book. I haven't started reading it yet, but this guy, Arthur Brooks, he is a Harvard professor. You've probably heard of him or seen him.
Sounds familiar to me.
He talks about happiness all the time and living a meaningful life and our idea of happiness, we need to change it. And I haven't read the book yet, so I can't tell you how to change it, but it's about changing the perspective of what happiness really is. It's really peace. And if you're trying to chase happiness, just do what makes you happy. That's not necessarily the way to get happiness. But again, haven't read the book yet, so
yeah. And I mean,
I'll keep you posted.
The happiness for me was just being able to go to the toilet.
Yeah, wiping yourself. Yeah.
I mean, it's the little things.
Yeah,
folks.
Gratitude.
I will never, take for granted again that I can just get out of bed and walk across the room.
Yeah. Well, and I know, Holly, you've said who you are now, like you're proud of yourself for the things that you do now that you never would have done if Toby were still alive. I mean, even just walking into a party by yourself.
That's scary. I don't really like doing it, but I've done it.
Yeah, well, that's that again.
But
talking
I was
about
so dependent, like you. I mean, we'd been together since I was 19. Like,
Yeah.
I had never
had to walk alone
Yeah.
into a party.
For me, it's more like Frank did all the, as you know, like all the finances. And I mean, he just kind of took care of everything on the back end, the health insurance and the house stuff and the
All the
cars and
things.
the will and estates and the investment accounts and everything. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting to like learn those skills, and
Yeah.
challenge yourself and realize like, okay, I can do this even though he's gone.
And don't wait, Holly was just saying, I didn't feel like it, but I did it anyway. And I think that is something, not right away, because there's so many feelings in the beginning, but at some point you have to tell yourself, you know what, I might not feel like doing this in this exact moment, but I know that I want to move forward in my life, so I'm going to do this anyway.
And it makes me think about a lot of the people that came to our event in February. They walked into Mean-Eyed Cat, a bar in Austin, by themselves.
Yeah.
Like,
Some of them traveled, but like I know there were a few that traveled together or had plans.
Some
to meet.
came with someone and a lot of people came on their own.
I don't think I could have done it.
that's
Super impressive.
A lot of strength.
Yeah, and I'm sure that they felt proud of themselves, especially because, let's be honest, it ended up being a fabulous weekend.
It was fun.
And so, just like Mary Beth said in her episode, she was on a high when she left. And it's not just because you're with people, like Holly said, that are saying yes, that are trying to walk through their grief in a healthy way, but also you're proud of yourself for getting on a plane and going to a new city and walking into a bar with all these strangers and not knowing. I mean, in my mind, it'd be like, well, where's everybody going to be standing? Well, what if I can't find them? Well,
Yeah.
who am I going to talk to?
I don't know what to wear.
I don't know. Yeah. So just
It is
do
nerve wracking because I did that. I went to that creative retreat in Kansas.
Oh, right.
And I was supposed to have been going like a few months after Toby died. And of course I called and she's like, just let me know when you're ready and come next year or the year after. And I went the next year and that was hard. Like getting off the airplane, we were supposed to arrive at within a certain window and we were all meeting at the airport and I didn't know anyone.
Yeah. And then did
"Is
you have
that-"
to share a room with somebody?
Oh,
That would have been
a room
that would have been
with
hard.
like 6 twin beds, and
It's a hostel.
Like camp.
Yeah, it was like camp. But it was so fun.
Well, and that's something that you really had to, and knowing, you know, what you've said about yourself before this, you tend to be the quieter one. You tend to be the one that, you know, is an observer. So the fact that you made this plan before Toby died, and then he died.
Yes.
So I think it was already you were stretching yourself, but then after your husband dies, you still chose to stretch yourself. That's hard. I can't remember. I had an opportunity to do something lately where I would have to walk into the room by myself, and I didn't go.
But you wouldn't have a problem with that.
I still have a problem with that. I don't know.
I mean, you'd like walk in a room in a costume.
Yeah.
Singing.
Yeah.
Well, but I'm wearing a costume,
sequins.
so that's different. No, I think for me, going back to like why I am where I am now in my grief and where I was early on is that I talked about it. I was always talking about it with everybody. So that was very healing. And it also made other people feel like they could talk about it to me, and they were very curious to know things. So even when I was on the plane to go visit Hayden in Spain, I sat next to this woman and we just started talking. And of course, shocker, 10 minutes in, I'm like, and I have a dead husband. And, but we talked almost the whole flight. It was just really, I was energized by she was sharing her hardships and I was sharing mine, and we were laughing and talking. And her poor husband was like, should I even be on this trip? Anyway, now I have a new friend.
I think it can be healing, and I think that's why the people that came for our retreat and widows that have reached out to us online that are like looking for community in their neighborhood or where they live, like we found, because I was just getting through the day and I was trying not to upset the kids too much, so I was kind of not talking about it as much.
That's how I was.
And then when you run into people in town and they're like, oh, how are you doing? And you know they don't really want to know how you're doing. And so you just kind of do the fake,
fine.
like in the
Great.
supermarket, like, oh, it's good. And I was always trying to make everyone else feel comfortable. And I wanted the kids to feel normal. So I wasn't like at the soccer game, you know, bitching and moaning about, you know, being a widow, until, you know, I met you guys, and then we started talking and sharing and then getting on the podcast. That's kind of when I got to talk about some of the trauma a little bit more. I was trying to shield everyone else. There was already so much trauma. Like, I didn't even really want to burden my parents anymore, my friends.
Yeah.
It's like I felt like everyone was so over my shit.
But do you think that they really were, or do you think that was your inner dialogue? Like, do you think it was true?
So in the beginning, I was so out of it, I just was like overwhelmed by the outpouring. But as you guys know, I then kept having like medical crisis after medical crisis. And then I was just like, people have got to be tired of this. Like, here she goes back in the hospital. I mean,
Another meal train?
It's
Damn.
it's just so like embarrassing at some point where you're just like, just let me die. I mean, it'd be easier.
I think people, for the most part, are looking for ways to help just out in the world, make a difference in somebody's life. So when you give them an opportunity to do something, and by the way, it's not like they're wiping your ass; they're bringing a casserole. You know?
Well, but like, I mean at that point, there's someone else in the community that maybe is going through breast cancer. You know, maybe there's somebody else in the community that needs it. And here I am again, like having some kind of
But you also needed it. I
emergency.
guess yeah.
I also, because I don't have any family here, I have zero support here. I don't have like high school friends. So my Austin people were the people. And, you know, sometimes it's easier, like in the beginning, all of my people from back east came, my high school friends in college, and those are the people that it's not as awkward hitting them up, I feel like, because you have more history with them. We had only lived here for 4 years, so I didn't have that sort of deep bench, or I don't know.
Long term.
That's kind of a like
friendship.
a sports reference that I don't have no business making, because I don't know anything about sports.
Over my head, I didn't even hear it.
But all your kids' friends, families, I mean.
Oh, I was so lucky. People kept stepping up. But after a while, I was like, it's me. I'm having another procedure.
Okay, but if you were like, take yourself out of it personal and you just looked at it on paper, there's no reason for any guilt at all. And you would probably tell a friend, like, of course I'm going to step up every time. I'm going to step up for you.
Yeah.
And yes, Sally has breast cancer, and I'll throw her a casserole too. But I'm not. I'm gonna.
Are people eating casserole these days?
I don't know. I don't cook.
I feel like you just DoorDash something
now.
over there. Anyway, the long and the short of it is, I think I didn't talk about it like you did right away because I had other things keeping me from. I was just trying to get back to some sense of normalcy and just any kind of routine.
I
and
had
health
a sick.
and
I think I had kind of almost a sick desire to make people feel uncomfortable. That's why I would say he's dead. You know, my husband died instead of like passed away. You know.
Well, don't you feel like you were kind of trying to convince yourself? I also remember this feeling of like not wanting it to be true. And I think if you're early on in the grief journey, there's a lot of denial. There's a lot of denial of like, did this actually happen? Is he really gone?
Yeah.
Like,
No
is
one
this
ever identified Toby.
Well, that's
actually
did you find out for sure?
legit?
No, I hadn't. I don't know who to ask. I mean,
Ask his brother.
I'm like, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, everything.
No one identified him? What do you mean?
Remember,
Like,
so
on the road?
usually when somebody dies, they can't just take the driver's license and assume that that's the person. They need someone to identify the body. Did you watch Madison? Okay, well, it happened on Madison. I know you're not watching it.
Is that a show?
It's sad.
Yeah, it's a show with Michelle Pfeiffer.
I need to watch it.
It's really good.
Oh,
but
wait,
she has to
I did start that one.
She has to identify the bodies, even though
The daughter's pregnant? Is that the same one?
No.
No. There's another Michelle Pfeiffer show out right
really?
I
now.
think she's on two.
This is Kurt Russell. You got to watch it, but what's it on Paramount Plus?
No, I'm watching the
I
one
have
where
no
like
idea.
Elle Fanning is her daughter and her daughter gets pregnant.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
She's out there.
Wow, good for Michelle.
She's having a
I'll find
resurgence.
out
She looks
and
good too.
I'll report back about the identify.
Yeah,
I
well,
know that Frank's sister and dad identified the body. Like they flew out and before he was cremated.
Yeah.
Do you want me to text my brother-in-law right now?
No, because his mom just passed away, which is a whole other thing that we haven't really discussed yet. But over the last, when was this? 2 weeks ago? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. about
Holly
to.
had 2 life events happening around the same time.
Yeah,
One was a
so-
death event and one was a life event.
My mother-in-law had a massive stroke, which she had kind of checked out ever since Toby died and didn't want to leave her house and lived far away. I don't know. She just kind of pulled away. She didn't, I think being around the boys might
have been too hard for her.
I don't know. It was weird though, because I would think it would be the opposite. Like you would want to be around your grandkids.
But if it's a reminder, and I think Gabe looks just like Toby.
He does.
So I think maybe it was hard. And she had lost her own husband. Maybe it just, she couldn't.
Yeah.
She had a
You
sad
kind of
life.
said she never really got over it.
No. I mean, yeah, like thinking back on it, like, I mean, my father-in-law was only, I think he was 56. I mean,
Yeah,
that's my
young.
age.
And back then, nobody talked about anything.
Yeah.
You probably didn't even realize until after Toby died that, I think you even said to me, it dawned on me that she was grieving, like her own husband. Didn't you say something like that to me?
Well, no. I mean, what do you mean? It made me
I
put
think
it in
you didn't really
perspective,
realize
like,
she
she
was a
was
widow.
very young.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
But all the more reason why you would think that she may know how to handle it with you because she went through it herself. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, so she died a couple of weeks ago. And then my nephew got married and that was super fun.
At some point you were saying, I think it's going to be sad for me, like when they're doing the mother-son dance and the, you know, like that Toby will hit you for some, didn't you say?
Well, it really didn't. I mean, a little bit, like when Jeff, my brother-in-law, gave a speech at the rehearsal dinner, that kind of made me choke up because I was like, well, Toby's not going to be here to give a speech.
Well, you better start practicing.
So, no, I told Jeff, I looked over at Jeff, I go, you're going to be speaking at their weddings. And he just laughed.
Yeah.
You know, and he would.
And that's, a whole other, we're talking about just getting kids like through college and high school and jobs. And I mean, that's going to be a whole other chapter where the grief will for sure come in to play.
And being like the mother of the groom, like, I kept having to tell my sister, like, keep your mouth shut. You're the mother of the groom.
Yeah, that's going to be hard for me.
Keeping your mouth shut?
Keep my mouth shut, not wanting to run the show because it's not my show. The boys are just kind of going to go along with whatever.
Yeah, I've got two girls. That'll be my show. I think probably...
Can it be my show too?
Thomas will walk them down, or maybe me and maybe Brendan, maybe me and Brendan, maybe, I don't know. I haven't really gotten that far. I do have one daughter who's in a pretty serious relationship. They're not like talking about marriage, but they've been together for a long time. I think that'll be the first.
Yeah, we've
engagement.
said many times, I mean, the grief, it's basically a companion now, and you can treat it like a partnership, and,
That's my partner.
Yeah, I mean, it is true though. Everything that I do now, grief is doing it with me. And like I've, just because I'm happy and smiling and in a costume, most of the time, doesn't mean that there's not a heaviness underneath. And I've really tried to kind of break up the heaviness underneath. But now I'm starting to think of it more as like, this is just a part of me now, like a scar. And I'm not going to try to get rid of it. I'm just going to carry it. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out, but I'm kind of trying to think of grief as just like, this is my companion now. And it doesn't have to be a negative thing. It's because I had so much love. And so now I'm, have this thing. I don't know. I'm still working it out, which, again, I have a book that I'm going to read about happiness and how to get it.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Maybe we'll have a widow's book club. Maybe that needs to be our next
so
spinoff.
fun.
I can't even read the books in my regular book club.
I know, that's true.
I
haven't been in like 3 months to my book club.
I mean, I get the book and I like have the book and then I carry it around and I'm like, well, I'll put it here to remind me to read tonight.
Maybe we should. Remember in school they would have DEAR, drop everything and read. Did y'all have that in school?
We had stop, drop, and roll.
A little different. Maybe we
the
have
school caught on fire.
A deer
or
meeting,
like
we drop everything and read together on Zoom or something.
Okay.
No?
Yeah.
I'm better about audio.
Audible.
Audible, yeah.
Because I can do laundry.
Yeah.
I can't pay attention. If I'm listening to a book and doing laundry, my brain is elsewhere. I'm all of a sudden halfway through the book and I'm like, wait, what's happening? I have to have
That's why it has to go back 30 seconds.
Yeah, do you use that a lot?
I do so I listen to Audible a lot, and if I'm walking the dogs or something, it's really
NPR.
great.
Kira
I also
loves
listen to a lot of NPR. In case
What
you were
book are you
confused
listening?
about my political leanings. So I am addicted to NPR. And I love Audible.
Well, are you listening to a book right now?
I am.
What is it?
It was gifted to me. So if you don't know about this, you can gift a credit or a book on Audible because you have to buy
that's great.
credits. Or
Yeah.
I have a membership because I
Yeah, me
listen all the
too.
time.
I had so many credits. I finally.
So we went out to lunch and then she was like, oh, I'm sending you this book. And it just popped up and was like, you have Yesteryear. It's actually really good. You guys would like it.
It's called Yesteryear?
It's really good. It's
Can you
wild.
give us a little synopsis?
I mean, I'm still in it, but it's basically like it starts out and it's like this perfect influencer family, and she's like pregnant with her 6th child, and they have this farm, but they have all this help, and they're influencers. So it's like it's not a fake farm, but it's like, they're churning butter,
They're
but they have
pretending like they're doing it all.
Off screen, she has three nannies
TV.
and a production assistant, and the husband's really wealthy. Anyway, so it starts out like that, and you're like, okay. And meanwhile, I'm really good at like predicting things, and I'm like, oh, I bet the husband's like fucking the nanny or something. But then it takes Then it takes this crazy turn, which it's maybe not for everybody, because every now and again when something goes into like supernatural sci-fi, I go, but it takes this crazy turn where she somehow gets pushed back in time, and she's on the farm, but it's like so the whole Instagram thing is, everything's organic and we do everything from scratch, and like everything's from the olden days, but it's really not, because they have this wonderful like Range Rovers, modern lifestyle. But the online presence is, we're making sourdough and we're churning butter and whatever. She actually ends up like back in that time. And that
does sound good.
And that's kind of where I am now, and it's kind of freaky deek, and I can't figure it out because
that's fun too, because you usually can,
like, the kids are there, but they're not her kids. Like, they're not really her kids, but they are her kids. And then the husband is there, but he's like really different.
Do they know that they're back in time too? Or they're actually in their real time and she's gone back? Ooh, I'm into it.
Keep us posted.
I'm into it.
Yesteryear.
Isn't your book club book?
It's not. Because that I haven't started.
What's that one?
And I need to hurry up on that. I don't even know. I need to look. I've been naughty about that.
Well, I'm supposed to be reading this book so my friend Kim met this couple at Whole Foods that their car wouldn't start or something, and they needed help. And anyway, of course, she's that kind of person that's like, how can I help you? And, they're older, and he's blind. And
wait, is this a book or is this a real? I'm confused.
I'm getting to the point.
Who's blind? A real person?
This is what happened in Whole Foods.
Okay,
the person at Whole Foods.
Okay,
elderly couple, and their car won't start, and it was hot outside. So Kim asked him to get in her car and put the groceries in her car until their friends got there. So then they start talking, and he said he wrote a book about his life and how he became blind. And we're meeting, book club is meeting him on Friday.
How cool.
Well, you better read the book.
But I hadn't read it yet.
Oh my gosh.
4 days, so I'll let you know.
Very nice.
All right.
Yeah, I got to jump on my book club. Something of the heart. I can't remember what it's called. I need to jump on that.
I've got the Arthur Brooks book
Really
that's like Strength to Strength or something. And then I also got the book that our guest Tammy, the Happy book is like Strength to Strength or something. And then the guest that we had on, Tammy, the new widow, she gave me a book. She told me about a book, and it's the afterlife. It's like a near-death experience book that I can't remember the name of right now. So I've got those 2 books that I just got, and I haven't started either one of them yet.
I don't do any of that self-help. I know I should, but I don't do any of that self-help or.
I don't either.
Well,
I just do
the happiness thing,
stories and.
Well, that's also good. It's fun to do those. I just am a nerd about self-help. I love self-help books and afterlife. Anyway, all right. Well, on that note, is there anything else that we want to share with people before we
everything?
Sign off?
I mean,
you know what?
Summer.
Summer.
Are we doing summer recordings? Are we taking our break for summer?
No, we're going to take a break. We wish you all a happy summer. We hope that you get a little bit of hope from us and some tips and tricks and insights, and know that whatever you're going through, it's temporary. You will survive it. You can thrive in it and in spite of it. And we're here for you. You can send us an email at everywidowthing@gmail. You can hop on Instagram and send us a message, or Facebook. You can join our insiders group. off of Facebook called Every Widow Thing Insiders. There's lots of ways you can connect with us, and we hope you do, because we love to hear your stories. We get inspired by you. Give us some ideas for topics for next season. Let us know what you want to hear, and we will make it happen.
Yeah. Let us know what you want us to talk about. We're running out of ideas.
Bye.